Okay, we're all set to start.
Great, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, good afternoon. This is our Street Fair Committee on Tuesday, January 4th. And I'm one of the co-chairs. My name is Floma Johnson. And we have other people from the Community Board 8. Would you introduce yourself, please?
I'm Barbara Rudder.
Co-chair, right?
Co-chair.
Anybody else?
I think Marco.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to be, who else?
Michelle and Marco?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, we're going to start with one. If I call your organization and you're not here yet, I'll call again after everybody else gets called. The first on the agenda is the 82nd Street Green Market. It's a sidewalk and curb lane closure at 82nd Street between First Avenue and York Avenue, Sundays from January 8th, 2022 to December 31st from 8 to 5. Is there anyone here from that organization?
Yes, Kathy Chambers is here, and it's on Saturdays.
Yes.
Okay. Happy Chamber, okay.
Good evening and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, same to you. Are there anything different from last year or anything new that you
No.
can let us keep us up to date on?
Nope, it's just that it's on a Saturday and not Sunday. It's the same as I apply for every year.
Yeah.
Okay,
It does say Saturday.
all right. Okay,
I'd like to just clarify something, if I may. This is Michelle.
sure.
So my recollection on 86th Street, on 82nd Street, is that this is held inside the schoolyard primarily and on the sidewalk. But I don't, and what does curb lane mean? Because my understanding is your trucks were parked either in the schoolyard or elsewhere.
It is in the schoolyard and on the sidewalk, and currently the city has blocked off area for social distancing for the COVID response for now. DOT has called about it as well, and City Hall had told them this is what they're doing.
So the curb lane is closed, meaning what would have been a parking lane or a lane for cars, but this is
No.
temporary?
No, the curb lane has always been closed for parking.
Oh,
outside the school.
I thought your trucks were not parked there.
No, they've been there for years, and actually it came before the community board years ago to extend that parking. And it was done.
Oh, interesting. I mean, I remember talking about parking over all the many years. But
Yeah, it was extended.
I do remember us discussing that what spilled over from the schoolyard would be parked elsewhere. So how much sidewalk parking do you have?
We use in front of the church, and we have for years. That's been since we started.
How many
in front of the
spots
church.
is it?
Probably about, let's see, probably about 4 spots. The church doesn't take up the whole block. It just got the
Okay,
church frontage.
that's my question. So it's only in front of the church.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Happy New Year.
You too.
Can I
Anyone
clarify-
from the public?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
I just like to ask if anybody from the public would like to ask any questions.
We don't have any raised
Okay,
hands from
good.
the public, just
Okay,
from
go ahead.
Marco.
Just to clarify, I think what happened was 2 years ago is that we opened the street also, which is so much better. It is a wonderful green market, and it means that we can walk on the street. So not only for social distancing, but it just makes it safer. There aren't cars going while people are lined up. So it does use that whole area from the schoolyard of the church all the way to the end of the church is various.
Correct.
But Barbara, did you say that they closed the whole street?
Yes, the whole street. You cannot drive. Am I right? I think
That was
No,
that was
never.
probably very, very many years ago.
yeah,
Over the
that
last
was-
5 or 6.
you
That was
cannot
a long
drive
time
there.
ago they did that.
No, City Hall has closed many streets throughout the city. This would be one of them during the market day for safe walking and social distancing.
Right.
And the
And-
market is set up only in front of the church.
And when there doesn't, I've been there when a car goes through, it is one of the most well-organized fairs that I've ever seen. People go and they push people, they don't push, they encourage people to go on the side. And a car goes through at like 2 miles an hour until they get past that area.
Yeah,
So
they call it a
cars-
soft closure because traffic can still get through, but it's very security oriented.
Amazingly so. The number of people that go there, it is a community event, and it has been particularly well managed during the COVID period of markers, keeping people 6 feet apart and so on.
So you mean that this was
Okay, well, thank
originally
you.
designated as an open street? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know the
No.
designation.
The
No, it's not
difference is,
It's designated only the open area around where the farmers are, as per the deputy mayor of City Hall.
yeah, no, I got that.
Yeah.
But just please let me clarify Barbara's comment. Over the year or two, there have been what's called open streets.
Right,
Open streets were streets that were closed to traffic. However, some delivery vehicles, some necessary vehicles were able to come through. They did so, quotation marks, cautiously, et cetera, et cetera.
correct.
This,
That's what they're doing. Correct. That's what they're doing with the
Okay.
market. And
so this street,
I did clarify with the director of City Hall, because last years they direct me to apply for my regular permit, which I do, and then it's up to them to review and decide what they want to do. So they said because of the Omicron variant and the stuff that's spreading, they want to keep it closed a little bit longer during the market.
okay, but it's
Okay.
not closed. It's considered there's a difference.
A soft
Closed
closure.
street,
Right.
let me clarify for a moment so I understand you. An open street allows for passage of some vehicles slowly, safely, etc. A closed street has a barrier on either side that does not, this is an eastbound street, that does not permit any traffic entry for any reason. Which one is this?
This does let traffic
it-
enter for deliveries. They call it a soft closure, City Hall, where they
Okay.
have to go very
So it's the
slow
old, it's the
yeah.
old open streets. Now they're calling it a soft closure. It's
Yeah,
the old
so they're-
open streets.
Yeah, open streets. Yep.
Okay. All right, well, thank you.
Anytime.
Any motion about this applicant?
We have a raised
Marco
hand
has
from
his hand
Marco.
up.
Okay, I can't see the hands, so we'll have to call the hands, please.
Confirm unmuting Marco?
Thank you. First of all, Kathy, I'm going to tell you, I'm always, every Saturday, I'm going to the market and purchase my juice over there. It's a very good and very successful food merchandise. And they close completely the street. They use the street. I mean, it's not what are you saying, it's more than that. And I don't have a problem in that part either, because you have to have enough room to do your business. And I think it's very successful. Many people, they go over there. And I support that. What I would like to see is you have the metal barriers the whole week throwing on the sidewalks. And that is unacceptable. That is hazardous conditions for the pedestrians, for any condition that happen outside, who's gonna be liable? And you have to remove, as soon as you finish the end of the day, you gotta remove and put in the right location. The street is not the storage room for the metal barriers. So you gotta.
Are you saying they're not putting them in the schoolyard?
No, at all. You can go today,
Okay.
right now, and see it. It's right
Okay.
there.
I didn't know that. So I'll ask them to make sure they put them in the schoolyard.
So I do not have a problem to support as long as we put an stipulation that you will be removed at the end of the day, these metal barriers.
Fine.
Yeah, they should be. I mean, they have to open it up for the traffic goes through. I just didn't, what are you saying that, are they putting them
They put it on the sidewalk the whole week.
in front of the church?
In front of the church, at the corner of 82nd on First Avenue. Just in front of the bodega and in front of the restaurant.
I'll check
It's right
into
there.
that for
You
you
can
and let you
go
know.
right now. You can go right now and see it. It's right there.
Yeah, I'm in Staten Island. I'll check into it during the week and get back to you, Marco.
Yes, if you are willing to accept it as an stipulation, yes, I will support.
Absolutely.
And I'm writing the minutes.
They
It
could
will be in
probably
the
be
minutes.
put,
Yeah.
they could, if those are ours, they can probably be put on the gate by the church.
Whatever it is, but it has to be removed from the street.
Okay, got it.
Okay,
Oh,
thank you.
I'll go check on that. I'll talk to them about it and tell them what you guys want.
Thank you.
all right, thank you. Okay,
I would make a motion to accept with the
yes, you can.
stipulation that they remove the barriers from the street.
Second,
Want to call the question?
I can second and call the question.
Yeah.
Okay, call the question. All those in favor?
No, okay.
Go ahead, Barbara.
No, okay. Well,
How are
I'm
you
in
doing
favor.
the vote? How are you doing the vote? Are you calling the
We do
roll?
I'm-
this.
There's
No,
only
we're
a
not
few
calling
of
the roll
us.
because it's only a few of us. It's only like three, maybe two or three.
So since there's
Let me
only
know if
three of
it's-
us, since there's only three of us, why don't you call the roll?
Okay.
Okay, who's here? That is Barbara, Wilma,
Yes.
and Marco
And
That's
Michelle.
correct.
and Michelle. Okay. So you have to give me your votes. Whether
Okay.
you
You have to
approve,
call
not
the
approve.
roll.
Call
Call
the
my
roll.
name and I'll
Okay.
give you a vote.
Okay, Michelle Birnbaum?
Yes, okay. I'm voting no because I'm getting the feeling that this is a completely closed street. That it is not part of the open street program, whatever that is. If it's a fully closed street from end to end, I'm opposed to that for this activity.
It was never, I don't think it was ever a completely closed street.
But it
It's
sounds
not
like
all
it
the
is
use
now.
I've been
Marco
there.
said it's more than that.
The only thing that I see different are the things that are left behind that she's going to check on to make sure that they are put in its right place.
Yes,
The
I
street is not
understood that.
closed. They allow the traffic to go through there if they have to. They don't stop people from going through that street or cars. They
Well,
have to go through that street.
if they don't stop them, then where are these barriers?
They
It sound-
move the barriers. People come.
Mostly on the sidewalk.
Why don't we have Kathy explain it?
There are
Can't.
barriers for pedestrian safety. When a car or a fire department or a truck has to come through, these barriers are physically moved over to the side. People are moved over to the side for the vehicle to go through, then they are put back.
Who mans
Yes.
that?
Our staff.
So you have a staff person on either end of it? Well, it's a one-way going
We
east.
have 2 or 3 staff persons in that area, yes.
And they're there all the time?
They're there all day.
And if just a regular car wanted to come through, they move the barrier?
It's a necessity car, a car that has to go through, a delivery truck, a fire truck, somebody who has to go down and park. It's not like they can drive up and down all day long, only necessity vehicles during the market.
Okay, I'll
Which is the
keep my,
Soft street.
I'll keep my no vote.
Okay.
Okay, now Barbara,
Yes.
Marco,
I'm going to vote yes, even though that this approach the street completely. And I do not have a problem.
Okay.
The problem is just only the metal.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have 2
Wilma,
yeses,
you're a yes.
one. Yes,
you
I am.
yes?
I'm a yes.
Okay.
I'm a yes. And we have Marco. You say you're not sure, or you voting no, or yes? What? You
I vote yes.
okay? Well, thank you. All right, so that's 3 to 1 voting for 1 not voting. I mean, 1 no.
1 no.
And 3 yeses. All right, we next one is the 92nd Street Green Market on Sundays. And it's open June 19th to November 20th on Sundays only on 92nd Street and First Avenue. It's actually 92nd Street and to 93rd Street is one block.
Excuse me, if I'm looking at the agenda items have changed the order, but this one says 92nd Street Green Market Sunday, and then
Right.
it says sidewalk and curb lane closure at East
That's not, oh, that, I'm
82nd
sorry,
Street.
that's not on, that's a mistake. That's why I corrected 92nd Street and it's between First, on 92nd and First Avenue through 92nd and 93rd Street from June 19th to November 20th.
Okay, there was no date on here
Sundays
either.
only, excuse me?
There's no date on here.
We're adding it.
Yes, it is. I'm about to give it to you. I gave it to you. June 19th to November 20th. Sundays from 8 to 5 p.m. every Sunday.
Except for November 6th, when it's closed for the marathon.
Is this a curb lane closure also?
It has been
It's
for
a
years.
sidewalk only. It's a sidewalk.
That's what I
Sidewalk and
thought.
curb lane. Yeah.
It's only the sidewalk, correct?
No,
No,
it's
yes.
sidewalk and curb lane. It has been for years and years since we opened.
What do you call a curb lane?
Where the parking is.
So the no parking sign that they put up on Sundays is for them to park their trucks.
Yes, those
Is
are
that
metal
correct?
signs. Right. Those are metal signs that have been there for years from DOT.
Is it only Sunday?
No, I'm not
Or-
talking about those signs. I'm talking about the signs that are put on all on the gate between 92nd and 93rd Street and First Avenue. But
The paper
Sundays,
signs.
no parking. It
That's
says
correct.
no parking.
That's
And
correct.
that is for the trucks that bring in the merchandise. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay,
But
thank you.
But there's currently no parking there otherwise, other than this circumstance? It's a no parking block?
No, there's cars that park there, but on Sunday it's reserved for farmers parking.
Okay.
Right.
But only during the farmer's market, only between June and November.
That's correct.
June, November. That's correct. Yes.
Kathy, can you tell me the date? It's 11, what is the date of the marathon?
The date of the marathon is November 6th.
Okay. And there's no farmer's market that day, am I right?
No, that's correct.
No.
In fact, our market on 77th Street swings around onto Columbus that day. So we leave 77th Street open for the family and friends meeting.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay. Any questions from the public?
We have no raised hands from the public.
All right. Second, we call the question.
I'll call the question.
Second,
Okay. All right. If you're voting for yes or no, I'm not voting for course, please let me know. I'm going to call the roll. That's myself. Wilma, I'm voting yes. Barbara,
Yes.
Marco,
Yes.
Michelle.
yes.
Next, number 3, the Dalton School Spring Fair 2022.
Thank
A
you
full
all.
street closure.
Thank you, Kathy. Okay,
What happened?
Kathy's leaving.
Full street closure at East 91st Street between Madison and Park Avenue, Friday, May 27th, 2022, from 11:30 to 2:30. Is there anybody here to talk about this event?
Yes, my name is Adina Wagman, and I'm on the executive board of the Dalton School Parents Association. And we've had this event every year for the past 25 years. And it's open to the public. It's a community building event for children to celebrate the end of the school year. There are about 400 elementary school students and their families. And on the street, there's inflatables, games, food from the school, but no cooking. It's organized by parent volunteers. There are no outside vendors. Security is provided by the school. And it's not a fundraiser, and it's not a graduation party.
Thank you. Any questions from the public at all? How about from the community board?
We just have a raised hand from Michelle.
Okay, Michelle, go ahead.
Move to approve.
Second.
Second. Okay. So I'm doing roll. Wilma, yes. Barbara?
Yes.
With Marco?
Yes.
And Michelle?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have PS 290. PS 290. 2022nd Rock and Block Spring Festival. Full street closure. East 82nd Street through between 1st and 2nd Avenue, Saturday, April 30th from 11 to 4 p.m. Anybody here from 290 to explain this event?
Yes, I'm here. My name is Adam Stein, and I'm a member of the PS 290 exec board. So thanks, guys, for the time today. And we are seeking approval for our application to host this year's edition of M&S Rocks the Block. This is an annual event that we had hosted pre-COVID. It went mostly on a hiatus in 2020 and 2021 for obvious reasons, and we're looking to bring it back on April 30th in 22. The structure of the event is very similar to prior years, where we're seeking the full closure of 82nd Street between 1st and 2nd Avenue. We put in a permanent time for 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., but the hours of the event will be 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. The event is open, of course, to the entire community, which includes our school, students and families. And we'll have a mix of children's activities, arts and crafts, entertainment, and inflatables. All of the large activities like inflatables will be run by licensed and insured city and DOE vendors, whereas smaller activities will be run by the school community. Of course, in this, in this health and safety backdrop that we're in right now, we're being ultra mindful of that. And particularly as this event is geared towards our 3K to 5th grade age children and families. There will be multiple sanitization stations, and the inflatables are intentionally open air. The food will largely be prepackaged, if sold by us. And our Blue Ribbon School has a history of receiving generous support from a number of local community members, including businesses, and hopefully we look forward to another successful event here in 22. So with that, happy to take any questions from you guys.
Thank you. Anyone with any questions from the community at first?
No, nothing from the community.
Okay. Anybody from the board?
Yes, Michelle.
Okay, Michelle.
Yeah, about the food, it's prepackaged food that the school prepares or an outside vendor prepares, or multiple outside vendors.
Yeah, so at the moment, it looks like it can be a mix of multiple outside vendors. We want folks that have do this for a living to be in charge of that, as opposed to necessarily ourselves. But even so, we're going to be prudent and cautious, fully understanding of what the environment is at the end of April. And if there is any heightened awareness around COVID like there is right now, then we're going to be mindful of that and explore differently around food.
Yeah, what I was referring to is, will that food be coming from local retail restaurants or from truck vendors?
So we have not signed any contracts with any truck companies. We have not had any open discussions. It's something that is on the table, but it would be we would be looking at it from donations from local vendors from the community.
Well, from my point of view, I would ask, from my point of view, that you work with the retail food suppliers that are in the community and not go to the truck vendors, which are transient, which are not always community friendly. So I would like to see the local businesses who are having so much difficulty now get your support. And I would be very pleased if you could state here that you will not be seeking either mobile vendors or vendors from outside of the community. Can you make that statement now?
100%. Support of the school community is incredibly important for us, and we've been the beneficiary of that for multiple events throughout this year and in previous years. So we 100% will look to support the community first and foremost, and as a priority, to be frankly.
Okay, great. So with that, and if it could be one line to that effect in the whereases, I would appreciate it and I would support this.
I
Thank you, Michelle.
I second that approval.
I have a question. Wilma,
Go
can I
ahead,
ask-
Barbara.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Food, are you going to be buying the food or are you expecting it to be donated?
In an ideal world, we would, yeah, in
Expect
an
it to be
ideal world, we would
That's what I
expect it
thought,
to be contributed. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question. You said you had a 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. but you start at 11.
Yeah.
So it takes 4 hours to set up the inflatables, everything like that.
No, it should not take that full 4 hours window. We gave ourselves the window of the permit, but we would not anticipate that we would need the entire time. More likely than not, it would be shortened. The other thing I want to bring up. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, just to bring up to the committee, we have made local residents all aware, including there is a garage on the street. I know that often comes up a lot in this committee. We have made them aware of the event.
And you'll arrange for them to have access?
Yes.
The title of this event is Rock the Block. What kind of music are you going to be having? The amplifiers or what? How is that working? This title,
Sure.
Rock the Block, what does that mean?
Yeah, it's. I think it's more marketing than anything. To be honest with you, that's it's a historical. It's a historical title that the event is having.
Okay.
But are you having music?
Thank you.
We have put in for a sound permit to the 19th precinct. We will, any music that we have will be respectful. It is not going to be a DJ. It's really more so if we were to, make an announcement or something like that.
Okay. Thank you.
Got it.
Can we move on? Oh no, we have to vote on this.
Yes.
Can we call the question?
Call the question.
Okay.
To
Second,
approve, we should say first.
Right.
Right.
To approve. I'm approving it, Barbara.
Yes.
Marco,
Yes.
Michelle.
yes.
Thank you. Next, we have the
Thank you.
60th Street Pier. A full street closure at East 60th Street between Madison and 5th Avenue, Saturday, July 23rd, 2022, from 10 to 6 p.m. Is there anyone here that can talk on this application?
Yep, Todd, go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Happy New Year. This street fair has been conducted for, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years now. Is Kathy Jolowitz with us this afternoon?
Yes,
She
she's
is.
here.
Kathy, confirm unmuting.
Okay. Great. Well, long story short, everything is the same. Nothing has changed. It's a one-block event. And we very much appreciate the support of the committee in the past, and we hope to ascertain your approval this afternoon as well.
All right, thank you. Any questions from the public?
Oh,
Okay.
We have no
Anybody
raised hands from the
the
public.
Nobody?
Michelle.
Yeah,
Michelle.
Todd. Yes, thank you, Todd. Just recap for me, Todd.
Sure.
Who's sponsoring this fair? And just go over for me again the food and the music.
Yeah, there is no music at the event, Barbara. In terms of food, it is obviously there are a couple of establishments on the block that are set up. Any outside food vendors are spaced 15 feet away from those establishments as per the city's guidelines. And Kathy Jalowitz's organization is sponsoring it.
Oh, so this is the Kathy, it's the 84th Street Block Association? No.
Excuse me, I'm speaking on the wrong application there. My apologies. Thought I heard 60th Street.
So who's
Yeah, this is the
sponsoring?
60th Street Fair.
I
There's
understand.
two of
but
them.
I understand. Who's the sponsor behind the 60th Street Fair? Who is it?
There are two different fairs. There's one that's ESNA, okay, which is, okay. And the second is Kathy Jalowitz. Kathy Jalowitz is, okay. Kathy is here. Kathy, I'd like you to speak to.
Yes,
You're
it's
the
the,
sponsor of the event. My role is just to
yes,
make sure that it's ran in a professional manner. Sorry, Kathy.
it's the German American Steuben Parade. And we've had these street fairs before where of course we had bush and sauerkraut, pretzels, but we don't do that anymore because of COVID. And last year we had to cancel. But the parade, it's important for us because we give out about $15,000 to $20,000 in scholarships to high schools and colleges. And we have about 20 groups coming from Europe. They fill the hotels. They could bring a lot of activity and revenue to the city through stores and restaurants. And we also, sponsor a big Oktoberfest in Central Park, which we will not be doing again. However, it's important that we have this. It also promotes the ethnicity in the city, and it's one of the oldest and most cherished parades. So therefore, we would still like to have a presence and that people will know that we are still functioning and that we will still be marching. And
So this is a fun, so just
Wait a
let me
minute,
understand.
please. Excuse me. I'm very confused because there's two street fairs. Actually, there's three on 60th Street. Which are these two connected? The street fair for the 60th Street for July 23rd and September 3rd. Are they both connected? It's two different parties doing this?
Yes, it's two different parties.
Okay, so the one we're talking about now, the parade, which one is that?
the 23rd.
Okay, all right. So we're on that one. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Okay.
the 23rd. Okay.
All right. Anybody else have questions about the 60th Street on 23rd, on July
Yeah.
23rd?
Yes, Michelle.
Okay, go ahead, Michelle.
So let me understand. This street fair is not being done on the day of the parade. This is a fundraiser for the parade and for the activities that organization supports, such as scholarships, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I have two or three more questions. One is, have you ever done this particular street fair before?
Cool.
Yes. We've been doing it on 60th Street for the last several years.
Okay, whether or not there's a parade.
No, there's always a parade. There's been a parade since 1957.
Yeah, but you're saying there's not one parade this year. That's what I'm
No,
asking.
there is. It's September 17th.
Oh, okay, it is happening. All right.
Yeah.
The
There
other
are
thing,
two of them.
the other thing
The-
you mentioned, the other thing you mentioned is about food, and food will be 15. First of all, it's now 20 feet away, not 15 anymore, I believe, with the new law. But at any rate, are you saying that there's going to be local retail existing on the street that is providing food, but in addition, there will be truck vendors, but they'll be 15 or 20 feet away from those retail? Is that what you're saying?
Todd, I think, yeah.
Can I speak to that, please?
Go ahead, Todd.
Thank you.
Yes, because it's confusing.
Okay.
We seem to be talking about two different things.
So Michelle is absolutely accurate that all of the food establishments are given first option to participate in the street. And then it will be supplemented with additional food vendors. Historically, I don't believe there have been any food trucks at this event. Robert Ash is with me. He's my director of operations. He's there the day of the event with myself. Robert, can you speak to that? Do you remember any food trucks at that event? I don't.
No, we do not traditionally have any mobile food trucks at that event.
Then why did you include it in your verbal description?
I believe the application says food vendors, not food trucks.
Okay.
We have.
But during your initial presentation, Todd, you said any other vendors will be 15 feet away from the existing retail. So I'm asking, you brought them into the conversation. If you're saying they won't be there, or you will not ask them and you will not invite them, that's one thing. But if you're saying they might be there, that's another thing.
What I'm saying is historically, okay, we have not had food trucks at the 60th Street festivals.
Well, what will happen in 2022?
It is open to all food vendors that want to participate that meet the city requirements, okay? We will not encourage food trucks to participate, okay? But I unfortunately cannot, I've been working with this committee and in this community board now for almost 30 years, hand in hand, very closely. And I think you know that, Barbara. But I cannot set that precedent, because if I were to set that precedent, it would be a very dangerous precedent throughout the entire city. And it would be illegal. And I couldn't do that. It's impossible for me to do that. I will give you my commitment that we will not recruit any food trucks, okay? We're not recruiting them. I know that has been an issue that you have raised in the past.
I understand. I appreciate that. You have retail food on the block. You also have retail food and many surrounding blocks. It doesn't have to come from 60th Street. You can have a participant who may want to join that's on 61st or 70th, 72nd.
We encourage that, and we embrace that.
When you say you will not invite food vendors, I mean truck vendors, what are the circumstances in which a truck vendor could show up uninvited on a closed street?
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No,
we're not going to go out and go recruit food trucks to participate at that event. We have a team that goes out to various different venues, artisanal food events, so on and so forth. And we encourage them. A lot of them are brick and mortar purveyors from throughout the entire city, and we encourage them to participate.
Yes, I understand, but Todd,
yes.
To me, there's no other way that a truck vendor could be at this block party unless you recruited them. There's no,
That's not correct. That's not correct.
you mean they can just roll onto a closed street and set up?
Oh,
When you
no.
got a permit for the day, for example, let me just
Yeah.
clarify if I may.
Sure.
You got a permit for the day to hold this fair. Are you
Right.
saying that there's a circumstance in which a truck vendor could roll on to that street for which you have the permit and where you have not asked them or recruited them, and in fact, they could park and participate? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Well, that's what it sounded like when you're
Let him
giving
finish, please, Michelle.
You're giving, well, I need
Yeah.
to know to cast
Look,
my
he's
vote.
answering the question. It's hard. I have to write the minutes. I can't do it with 3 people talking at one time. He's answering your question.
All right, then I have another one.
Well, he didn't
I
answer this one
understood,
yet.
I understood your answer, but it does not seem feasible to me what you're saying. The only way a truck vendor could end up at a private event, well, not, it's a public event, but an event for which you have a permit is at your recruit. You are saying you will not recruit, and yet you're leaving it open to saying, but they might be there anyway. I'm asking you, under what circumstance could that happen?
Theoretically, a food truck could contact our office, ask for an application to participate at the event.
Who gets the application?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question.
Who gets the application, you or the city?
They would contact Clearview and they would say, we'd like to have an application to participate at this street fair. And theoretically, we would send them out an application. That is correct.
So whoever asks to participate, you give an application.
No, that is not correct. Not whoever. The community board has guidelines. It does not allow certain items to, whether it be massage vendors, tarot card readers, so on and so forth. There's certain things that are clearly prohibited from street festivals.
But the decision comes from you, since you have the permit, not from the city of New York. Is that correct?
I am not able to legally say at a street truck, if they come to me, we've had this conversation in the past. If they come to me and they want to participate, it would be discriminatory and illegal. And the city has taken a position on this. I can't say no to them, Michelle.
Well, number one,
I
I don't
agree.
know.
Legally,
I know.
can't do it.
If you have enough, excuse me, if you have enough support with food retail in the community, I think you can. I don't know if what you're telling me legally is the correct legal position. I will, however, I have never heard that, and I'm pretty conversant with these laws. So I don't know that what you're saying is.
I'm sorry. I lost you.
I
Sorry,
need
Michelle.
I need
Confirm
to
unmute,
ask a
Michelle.
question. Okay.
However, whoever
Have I
has
ever
the license.
misrepresented, excuse me, have I ever in the 30 years dealing in Community Board 8 misrepresented myself, Michelle?
No, what I'm saying, I'm not suggesting you're misrepresenting. What I'm saying to you is I'm not comfortable with the out that you are providing yourself, as I do not I do not believe and cannot verify that it's a legal issue. That's what I hear you loud and clear, and that's my concern. So I'll leave it at that.
I mean, we have in over 30 years, okay, we have always had a small number of food trucks, small, probably can count them on my right hand at street fairs on the Upper East Side.
Correct.
I know this is a priority for you. I recognize that. I appreciate that. I respect that. I'm very sensitive to that, Michelle. And I'm doing the best I can do by telling you that we're not going to recruit or encourage any street truck vendors to participate.
I'll make one
You have
last
my
comment.
word and you have my commitment on that, Michelle.
I appreciate
You always
that.
have. You always have.
I know we've talked a lot in the past. My recollection, this will be my last comment, is that the trucks that you did have to accommodate or felt you needed to accommodate were mainly on the avenue fairs, which are multi-block,
That's correct.
long, big fairs.
That's correct.
Yes, I haven't seen you include them in little one-block fairs, and I'm only asking that you don't in this case. So I think that's doable. To my knowledge of this law, of which I pretty well, I'm not saying I'm perfectly conversant, but I know it, and I don't know if what you're saying is accurate. I will take your commitment and really accept it and appreciate it. But if you're telling me that has to do with your decision making. But if you're telling me that if a truck vendor applies to you, you're committing to me that you won't recruit. But you're telling me that if they come to you, that you don't have you're not going to be able to say we're giving preference to our local retail. That's a thing for me to take under consideration.
This is a private argument that's going
on.
on.
No, it isn't, Barbara, and it could be very educational for all those who are listening. So I suggest you let it run its course. It'll be over soon.
I hope so.
Excuse me. You're confusing the situation. I'm understanding something totally different than what you're talking about. What I understand from what he's saying is that if a vendor, a truck, or anybody comes to him after they get all of their work and they have extra room for somebody else that wants to participate, it would be not fair for him not to take the application and have them consider being part of it. What's wrong with that?
And we can vote yes or no depending on it.
And may I add, if you would like as a community.
And I'm Barbara, by the way.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
That's okay.
If you would like to put in your guidelines that you prohibit food trucks, I will adhere to your guidelines. I cannot be the front line in terms of getting sued for being discriminatory. I can't do that. And I've always done everything humanly possible to be of assistance in every possible way.
All right. I would like to call the question, please.
Right. That's what I was doing. I'll second it.
Okay. Tom, call the roll, please. If you're in favor, I'm in favor of this. Barbara, what about you?
Yes.
And Marco?
1 second, let me make
sure
on? He's unmuted. He is, but he's muted. Marco, confirm unmuting?
Yes.
Marco, are you
yes
in favor of this?
He said yes.
Okay, thank you. And Michelle?
Yes, I'm voting yes, because of my faith in Todd.
Thank you, Michelle.
But I will,
Okay,
I will
you.
check it this week, and this year we'll see how that goes.
Yep.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. We're going to go to the next application, which is a Day Festival, full street closure, East 60th Street between Lexington Avenue and 5th Avenue, Sunday, July 10th from 10 to 6. Is there somebody here to represent that application?
That's also you, right, Todd?
Yes, Rob, thank you. Yes, Rob, would you like to speak to that application?
Okay,
You
confirm.
just
unmuting.
confirmed this is ESNA, am I right? This is ESNA?
Go ahead, Robert.
Okay.
Yes, just to clarify, we did skip over agenda number 6, ESNA 60th Street. We jumped to 7.
No.
Yes, that's what we are. We're at 7 now.
There may have been some changes.
We're
in
not
the
at
order.
6. We already passed 6.
Wonderful then.
Wait a
Number
minute.
7.
No, we did 5.
We're on number 7 now.
No, we'll
Okay, just to confirm,
Yeah.
We're talking about the 60th Street Fair between Madison Ave and Fifth Avenue on Saturday, September 3rd, 2022 from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Right.
Sponsored by East 60th Street Neighborhood Association.
Great.
Okay.
And
Okay.
this is a annual event. Has
May
not
I have
any,
your name, please? Your name, please.
Robert Ash. Robert Ash is his name.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Robert Ash from Clearview Productions.
Thank
This
you.
fair has been going on for over 25 years, to my recollection. No problems or complaints. There is no amplified sound. Street closure is 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Public hours are from 10 to 11. And we do have, I thought Esna was here.
Is Judy or Barry there?
Is Judy logged on?
No. No.
Okay. I did speak to her earlier today, and she had planned on attending this evening. Not sure what happened. Any questions about this application?
At this street fair, it is the fundraiser.
This is Esna's annual fundraiser. Yes.
Okay, and they have food vendors or food trucks, or how are they having food at all, or music?
No amplified sound. Yes, there are food vendors, mobile food vendors that operate traditionally out of stick booths or trailers. As
All
Michelle
right.
said, this smaller event does not usually have trucks at it.
Thank you. Any questions from the public at all?
No raised hands from the public, no.
Anybody from the board?
Michelle, confirm unmuting.
Yeah, sorry, Robert. Again, clarify that food. So is it local retail that brings their wares in some way because they're not on the block, or are they in the community or out of the community?
These are food vendors operating out of tent booths coming from throughout the 5 boroughs.
Tent booths.
Yes.
Oh, like they put up a tent and they cook and
Right. Like
and
you
it's
see
cooking?
That represent, yes, the traditional street fair food vendor that you see at 99% of the street fairs throughout the 5 boroughs.
On this one block, and they're from all the boroughs. Was there an effort to get some community input instead? There's only so much space for them, so I don't know how many you could have, but however many there are, 4, 5, was there an effort to make them from the community board 8?
To invite outside food vendors, to invite food purveyors from community. Yes, as Todd said earlier, and I think I've said in previous years, I've personally reached out for all of our events, gone door to door to the merchants, inviting them to participate both at the fairs in front of their brick and mortars, as well as the other ones in the community at discounted rates. Unfortunately, aside from the one pizza place there on 2nd Avenue, who happens to have a mobile unit, I've never been successful in pulling brick and mortar establishments away from their front doors. 2nd Avenue we've had great success in the restaurants coming out to operate in front of their brick and mortars, but to get anyone to come to just streets that they're not. Yeah, that is a hurdle I've never been able to overcome, unfortunately.
And there are no food establishments on 60th Street, are there? Well, maybe there's one restaurant.
There's two. There's a very 5-star Greek restaurant on the south side of the street, and
he doesn't need that.
Yeah, and next to that a smaller establishment, but no.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you for your information.
There are no other questions.
Call the question.
Okay, anybody want to call the question?
You want to I second it?
Okay, I'm approving it. Barbara, what about you?
Yes.
Marco?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Okay. Now, we're at number 7. The Bastille Days Festival. Full street closure at East 60th Street between Lexington Avenue and 5th Avenue on Sunday, July 10th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. I have a representative to explain this event.
That's you, Todd.
Robert?
Hi, Robert
Okay.
Ash again.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, this is the annual FIAF's annual Bastille Day celebration, also known as the French Independence Day celebration. Unfortunately, was not permitted to happen in 2020 or 21. We're looking for a very triumphant return this coming July. This event does have amplified sound. Has not had any complaints about that sound. This event is different than your traditional street fair in the sense that it attracts different cultural French cultural organizations as well as French food purveyors from throughout the city. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Do you have a comment?
No, I don't think so. Go ahead, Robert.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Street closure from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and public hours from 10 to 6. Any questions?
Thank you.
We do have a question from Michelle.
Okay, Michelle.
So my recollection, is this still the case that there was dancing and some local French food? Am I remembering that correctly?
That is correct. We do have a representative here today. Natalie is here from FIAF as well.
Oh, so maybe she can speak to us as well.
Natalie, confirm unmuting.
Yes, hello. It's Natalie Akawi. I'm the Special Events Manager at FIAF, and we're very much looking forward to the edition this year and to coming back, like Robert said, for Bastille Day. So I'm happy to answer some questions, or maybe Robert can jump in if he has some answers since he's been doing it for so many years.
Can I ask a question?
Okay.
Who is the organization that's sponsoring this? Did you say Saks, Natalie? I didn't understand. Is this from Saks? Did I hear you say Saks?
No, I'm
not
representing FIAF, which is the French Institute Alliance Française.
And is that the sponsoring agency?
So Robert, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but
yes,
or if you just want to intervene, but we usually have. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, FIAF is the sponsoring organization. They're the French Cultural Institution there between Madison and Park.
Can you just give us a description about what's happening on that street that day? Natalie?
Go ahead, Natalie.
Of course. So it would be as every previous edition. We're looking to be in, to have it open to the public from 10 to 6 p.m. And we usually have a number of booths available on the street, around 60 to 80 as per previous years, which is all French vendors. There's going to be some food, some music, all within the limits of what is possible this year. So it's actually my first edition working on the fair. So maybe if Robert has any additional information he'd like to add, he would have a bit more information if you're looking for some particular information.
I would like to add that, FIAF does a large display directly in front of their facility, promoting their different programs, as simple as the French arts programs they have inside the facility, French educational classes for children. So they're promoting it's obviously the Bastille Day is the celebration of the French independence. but also promoting the services that FIOP provides in the community and to the city.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What is physically on the street, though?
We have 60 to 80 booths and a small performance platform. Of those booths, I would say 30 to 40 are French goods, French artisans, crafters, as well as specialty French cuisine.
And the rest of them are promoting the programs that the Institute is offering.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We have a raised hand from Marco.
Go ahead, Marco.
Thank you. I think it sounds great, and I would like to support this application. And I don't know if somebody else want to second my
second. Yeah.
Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marcos. Okay, I am definitely for this. Barbara?
Yes.
Marcos?
Yes.
And Michelle?
Yes.
Thank you. Next, we have the Lexington Neighborhood Health First Avenue Festival, and it's a full street closure at First Avenue between 68th Street to 79th Street on Saturday, June 4th, 2022, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Do we have anybody from the Lexington Neighborhood House to talk about this application?
Robert, Todd?
We'll be glad to speak about it. Thank you. Thank you. Lenox Hill Neighborhood House. Yes. Lenox Hill Neighborhood House has been conducting this annual fundraising event for, I would say over 20 years now. They bring out their programming onto the street and showcase all and or many of the services that they provide. In addition to that, pre-COVID, they had set up a children's block and offered free to the community inflatable entertainment for the families of the Upper East Side. This event has been incident-free. There's no amplified music. I'm not aware of any complaints. Yeah, that's basically about it.
Okay, thank you. Anybody from the public would like to ask a question?
No raised hands from the public, no.
Okay. Any board members?
Yep, Michelle.
Move to approve.
Michelle.
Move to approve.
Okay, thank you.
Second. Third.
Okay.
Marco got that
we
before.
We have one yes for me. Barbara?
Yeah.
Marcos?
Yes.
And Michelle?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to the Lexington Avenue Festival. It's a full street closure at Lexington Avenue between 79th Street to 96th Street, Sunday, October 2nd, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Okay, do we have representatives to explain that application?
Rob, did you want to comment on it? Rob?
Yeah, confirm on meeting, Rob? Okay.
Thank you very much. Yes, that's 92nd Street, a WISE annual event.
Oh, it's
the
Wait a
permit
minute.
is go.
You said this is the 92nd Street. Why?
Yes.
It doesn't say that on our agenda. I have.
Yes, it doesn't say that.
Yeah, I have
It says
it to
Lexington Avenue
86th
Festival.
Street. I have it to 86th Street on
96th Street. Oh, I guess you may have an older version.
I
It
have
says
the one that, but
Okay.
is this the Manhattan Chamber of Commerce, 2nd Avenue? No,
If it's-
is this
if
the
it's
3rd
nine-
Avenue?
It's the one
If
before
it's
that.
If it's to 96th Street, if it's from 7-9 to 9-6, the sponsor of that event is the 92nd Street one.
We don't
92nd
have
Street,
90,
okay.
excuse me, we don't have 96th Street on either one of them on our agenda. That's the
I have it
confusing.
on mine.
Well, I have
Yes,
it.
it's
I have
I don't
96th
have
Street.
it on mine. See, I don't have it
okay.
on mine.
Okay, so
Michelle,
Saeed-
it's listed. Mhm.
Tell me which one it
second.
is.
Okay, it should be.
Let me read it again, please.
Okay.
It's item 9, and it's the Lexington Avenue Festival, a full street closure at Lexington Avenue between 79th Street and 96th Street, Sunday, October 2nd, 2022, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And he's explaining that it's the 92nd Street Y a street event. Am I correct?
You are
That
You
is
are.
correct.
Okay, may we have a representative from that organization to continue to explain about the event,
Yes.
which has been there for many years.
Yes, thank you. Robert Ash here from Clearview Productions, as well as Jamie Thomas from the 92nd Street Y. Once again, the event takes place on Lexington Avenue from 79th Street to 90. The permit is from 79 to 96th Street. The event was not permitted, obviously, in 2020. In 2021, the fair did take place in a condensed version. Unfortunately, as presidents of the community, I'm sure you're aware of the outstanding representation the Y traditionally has at their event, bring out all their programs onto the street for a wonderful community day. Given the pandemic, that did not happen in 21. We look forward to doing the event this year, hopefully to its full extent. There is amplified sound traditionally at this event, but closely monitored. Any questions?
Thank you. Okay. Any question from the public or from the board?
No questions from the public, but Michelle has raised her hand.
Okay, go ahead, Michelle.
Yeah, not really. What happened is I printed the agenda as it first came out, and it's so filled with errors that I'm just having trouble following you. So this is called the Lexington Avenue Festival. It's agenda item 9. And then I have 10 is the Manhattan Chamber of Commerce 2nd Avenue. And then 11 is 3rd Avenue Community Festival. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. Yes.
Okay. So I would move to approve this 92nd Street Lexington Avenue
Thank
Festival.
you. Second. Okay. I approve it. Barbara?
Yes.
Marco?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, next we're on to number 10, the Lexington Avenue Festival. And this is a full street closure at Lexington Avenue between 60th Street and 66th Street from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday, April 23rd, 2020, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Is there anybody here to explain that event?
Let me just make sure I know what we're talking about, because mine, I just want to make sure I'm on the right agenda. Mine says it's the
Number
Manhattan
10.
Chamber of Commerce 2nd Avenue Community Benefit. It's on May 7 from
No, that's the wrong
66
one.
to 86.
We're on number 10.
Well,
We're on number
it is
10.
That is my number
Wait.
10.
Wilma, let me say, the
Okay,
numbers
good.
have changed. There were changes in the numbers. Just look at what the words are.
I
not the
am, but my words are different, Barbara.
Don't
That's
look
my
at 10,
confusion.
look at whatever
Okay.
number you have. That's the Lexington Avenue Festival Full Street at Lexington.
yes.
90.
Barbara, I
Yep.
have nothing that says Lexington Avenue. The only thing I have is 2nd Avenue and 3rd Avenue.
Okay, this is an additional one then, if you can get on
Okay,
the,
so tell me what it is again, please. This is Lexington.
It is.
you want to
It
read
is
it?
a Lexington. I'm about to read it. Lexington Avenue Festival. Full street closure at Lexington Avenue between 60th Street and 66th Street from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturday, April 23rd, 2022.
Okay,
10 to 6.
I got it.
Right.
Okay,
May-
thank you.
may
Can
I
the
speak?
person, yes, may I have your name, please?
Yes, it's Todd Berman. Hi.
All right, okay, good.
Hi.
Again,
How you doing? This is sponsored by the 19th Precinct Community Council. It has been since its inception. The event has been conducted for about 17 years now. There's no amplified music, incident-free. Are there any questions?
No raised hand. Oh, Michelle, go ahead.
Move to approve.
Second, yeah. Okay. I approve it, Barbara.
Yes.
Marcos
Yes.
and Michelle. Okay. So we have that approved, and we're going over to the Manhattan Chamber of Commerce Second Avenue Community Benefits Festival. Full street closure at Second Avenue between 66th Street, excuse me, and 86th Street, May 7th, 2022, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And may we have a representative explain that event, please?
Rob, did you want to speak to it? I could speak to it.
Yeah, I'll speak to it. Absolutely.
The only thing,
Hi, yes, Robert Ash here from Clear.
I'm sorry to.
Your full name, please.
Could you please highlight the fact that we have reached out to all the residents. We've done an outreach to the residents for them to participate as vendors, both at the Second and Third Avenue events at a deeply reduced rate.
Oh, okay. That's great.
Hi, Wilma. Robert from Clearview Productions. Yes, Todd was just mentioning something that we had started up this year. We had done a resident and home business reach out, inviting residents and home business operations, micro businesses from the community to participate in the Second Avenue as well as the Third Avenue Chamber of Commerce. Okay. Obviously, 21 was a very unique year in kind of a pilot, a unique year in starting such a pilot program. But we did get a response of over a dozen home businesses from the community that came out. So we were kind of excited about that. Mm-hmm. Speaking specifically to the Second Avenue event, that did not happen in 2020 or 21. So hopefully 22, as long as we don't have another variant problem, this event will be taking place. Look forward. I believe this one will be the second or third time that it's actually taking place on Second Avenue since the Big Dig ended on Second Avenue. So we're looking forward to embracing Second Avenue again, and the large amount of restaurants and businesses that line Second Avenue.
Right.
Any questions?
So all of the people that have the stores and outside restaurants are all included in these street fairs on Third Avenue and Second Avenue, and they pay a fee or not?
The restaurants that have existing outdoor structures are welcome to participate free of charge. If a restaurant does not have an outdoor structure in the rare circumstance they have a fire hydrant or bus stop in front of their establishment, I think the same courtesy should be extended. I would have to verify that with the Chamber of Commerce, but I would assume that they would supporting local business.
Great. Okay. Any questions?
I do.
From, okay, go ahead,
We have
please.
a raised hand from Jessica Walker. You can confirm
Okay,
a
great.
meeting.
Jessica, great.
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for doing this. And it's so good to see everybody. I hope everybody is well and healthy. But yeah, I just wanted to back up. Rob did a terrific job, just to say that, yes, we absolutely want to offer free booths to the small businesses along Second Avenue. And I think the other thing that we're trying to do and really try to push out more of this year is to try to bring on large corporate sponsors to be able to allow us to provide free booths to even more small businesses and partnering with other organizations. So it totally is meant to be a small business fair and really trying to support small businesses in the comeback in the wake of COVID.
Great. Okay, thank you. Any questions from anybody else from
I'd like to
the
comment.
public?
I want to say thank you. I think this is great. I think last year everything was said last year, and the booth, it was quite empty, I think, on both streets. It didn't have that fullness feeling, and I hope that does it. We have a lot of people that have done a lot of home art stuff and so on. Maybe the community board could help you maybe get some more home. I don't know if you meant by home businesses, literally people working at home, or if you meant local stores actually, but I hope it becomes fuller. I love the fairs, and I'm so happy if our locals are encouraged to join and represent themselves.
Okay.
Barbara, to speak on that, actually, I'll be putting together a specialty application probably in the coming weeks. That if the board would appreciate the support of the board, if you guys could distribute that amongst the community, inviting them to have a table at the fairs.
We will.
Thank you.
Right, Saida?
And that would be people. Would that be people in the community board district, anybody, or just in your particular street event area?
In the entire community board 8.
All right, great. Thank you. That's good. Any other questions?
We have no other raised hands.
Okay.
Let's hope we have it.
Oh, we have Michelle.
Move to
Okay, go ahead,
approve.
Michelle.
Move to
Second.
approve.
Second.
Great. All right. So I'm voting yes. Barbara?
Yes.
Marco?
Yes.
Thank you. And Michelle?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, thank you very much.
I like to thank both Rob and I would like to thank the committee and the board for all of your support throughout the years. And I believe on this note, most importantly, we wish everybody health and to be safe given what's going on right now. You know?
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. That's it. We have old business at all?
Did we do the? Oh no, so we did all 11. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, we didn't vote on the last one, did we?
I'm looking at the Third Avenue Fair. Did we vote on
that's
that?
the one. That's
The Third Avenue and Second Avenue that was talked about together.
Oh, is that
Do we
true?
want to
You're
vote on
talking about that?
separately?
No, I thought this is a different one. We have number 12. I mean, it's
Okay, so we
Michelle, it's a
have-
different numbering than yours.
Okay, excuse me. We're gonna do the Third Avenue Festival now. We just got finished the Second Avenue one.
Right.
Is that
Third
correct?
Avenue.
So we're doing the Third
Yes.
Avenue one. This is the last one, I think, on the stage. Third Avenue Community Benefit Festival.
Yes.
Street closure at Third Avenue between East 66th Street and 86th Street, September 11th, 2022, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
I think that's the 17th, if that's correct, right, Robert?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes, Robert Ash to speak on behalf of this. Once again, this is the annual fall event for the Manhattan Chamber of Commerce on 3rd Avenue from 66 to 86. Traditionally, it is the first Sunday after Labor Day weekend. This year, that Sunday fell on September 11th, so we met it to the 17th. Same protocol as the spring event on 2nd Avenue. One big difference with 3rd Avenue is this event also plays host to traditionally to 2 hospital blocks, New York Presbyterian coming out, as well as Lenox Hill Hospital. So we look forward to hosting them again this year.
I didn't get the date. Was that September 11th or 17th? Which date?
17th.
Okay, thank you.
Excuse me, Kathy is motioning that it's the 18th. Why don't you unmute Kathy? She has something to say.
It's on Sunday, right?
You can confirm.
18th. The 17th is Saturday.
Yes, the 17th.
So it's the 18th.
17th Saturday.
No, it's Saturday.
I think there's a typo error on the agenda. It's on Saturday, the 17th. And that was moved,
okay, thank you,
as Rob mentioned, because of September 11th.
Okay, great. Okay.
Sunday is the 18th.
I have a quick question. Why don't you reach out to hospitals on 2nd Avenue? In fact, as all those hospitals are even closer to 2nd than 3rd Avenue.
You know, every year I have the conversation with the community outreach components from the hospitals,
right,
and say, hey guys, you know, when are we going to do both? When are we going to do both the spring and the fall?
Mm-hmm.
And I think for them, you know, April, May, they're just not in outdoor mindset, and the planning has to start now. And I feel like every year we talk about it, and they just never.
Okay. Just was curious.
Activated.
That's fine. That's great.
Okay. All right, thank you. We're going to vote on this one.
Jessica's hands up.
Jessica, confirm unmuting.
Okay, great, Jessica.
Thank you. No, just to be quick, I just wanted to acknowledge that this was the one that we were able to do in 2021. Again, as Rob said, we weren't able to do either of the fairs in 2020, but we really had a tremendous response to this particular fair in 2021. I think people just wanted to be outside, and obviously it's low risk in terms of COVID. So just really excited to do this one again.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I just want to say all of us from the community board that aren't actually sit at the table, and we see the people going by, and I think the 4 of us have been there, and
yeah,
the enthusiasm, and it helps the community.
Okay, so anybody else have a question for this 3rd Avenue, the community benefits?
No other raised hands.
Okay, then we're gonna call the question so we can.
Second.
Okay. I'm voting yes. Barbara?
Yes.
Yes. Marco?
Yes.
And Michelle?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Good luck to all of us.
Thank you.
It's successful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Stay safe. Have a wonderful.
We can go to old business.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Can I say, I wonder, talking to Wilma, but the rest of the committee, I think trying to encourage some of our residents to come out at a reduced rate. I mean, do you think that's something that we should be doing as a community board? Maybe working with the Leaders Art Committee to see.
Well, that's what they said they're doing, which is fantastic.
Yeah, but he said he needed help from the community board. And
oh, okay.
The only thing, the only thing I would say is it's a great idea to have people whose have home businesses, not just people who are working at home. However, we don't really know about those businesses. Are they licensed? Are they tax paying? You know what I mean? Right. I think it's great if the fair does outreach to them, but for the community board to endorse in any way, I think could be problematic.
I agree. I understand.
So I'm sort of thinking, you know, we can be.
Unless it was already a formed group, like the art committee with Alita, and they would come out with a table or something like that that's already established and already, you know, not just the home person with arts and crafts.
That's a community board committee. So that's a different thing. But when you're going into buildings and people have home businesses and one is a potter or one is, you know, does knitwear or one does jewelry. Right. I don't know if as a community board, we really want to get behind endorsing any individual.
I understand, Michelle. I think you're right. I agree.
I agree too. On the new business, we don't have to discuss it today, but I would like to look into what the 60th Street Fair was talking about in reference to having accepting applications from a vendor or truck outside of this private street fair. How does that go? And it's legal, illegal? I just have to look into that.
Well, I plan to, Wilma, so I think that's a good suggestion. I'm not sure that it's completely accurate what was said, because when you're applying for a permit, in essence, you are renting that street for that given period of time. And we are trusting that you're in control of that street for that given period of time. And let's say it's the French Institute, for example, but an Italian truck food vendor wanted to be on that street. Well, that's not appropriate for that. And it's not discriminatory to say that that truck vendor selling Italian food can't be there. So each of these fairs, especially the one block fairs, which have a specific reason, they're either fundraisers for a school, you know, it's a one block thing. There's a theme, there's a reason. Let's say an elementary school is having a block fair. Is it right to say that school that's in control of that block can't control who's coming on to the block as a vendor or not? I would say that's unsafe not to have that kind of control.
If that vendor put the application into the particular person that's running the street fair ahead of time, and they go through all the right channels, there should be no reason why they should deny them unless it's the wrong theme for that particular event that they're doing.
Okay, can I give you my 2 cents with it? What I thought he was saying is you have X number of spots. Let's say they have 15 spots. I'm making something up, but let's say they have 15. They go around to the local restaurants. They may fill up 13 spots. They may get a couple of inquiries. He says he doesn't go to a truck and say, will you apply? But the truck may apply. My guess is that they have a right, that they will say in one way that they don't have a right to say, you may not apply. That is what he was saying. And you may disagree with it, but that is what I heard he was saying. My guess is that he wants a nice street fair and, you know, he was going to do it. But if there was an empty spot, if he couldn't get it, maybe to fill it up and to make the money, they would give it to somebody else.
Yeah, and they have the right to do that. Excuse me, it may not be right, but it's my opinion that it would be. I would be ready to sue if I was denied an application because they just didn't want me there. But if I go to the right channel and there happens to be a spot there that is in in with the same theme of what the street fair is doing, there should be no reason why that person that's running the street fair can say, yes, you can come in and you can come in because we have the space. You pay for fee,
but Wilma,
you can have the spot.
No trucks vending is permitted on side streets. That's part of the vendor law.
So that means that the street fairs are all illegal that have any kind of vendors or trucks in their
they're avenues. They're not side streets. But you know what? We have the chair of the vendor committee on here, and we have a man that does this for profession. And I think that rather than saying this is my opinion, you'll come up with an answer. I assume, Michelle. You'll
exactly. And I will go back to the law. I said that. I'll look this up.
In fact, we have two chairs of the vendor committee on. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ignore Marco. We have two chairs of the vendor committee on.
Okay, then I think they should take it up. Then I would like to adjourn the meeting if it's possible.
Yeah.
Oh, you can keep. Okay. You can go ahead. I'm not fully up. I'm getting off.
Okay.
Feel good, Wilma.
So Barbara, I'm sure Marco will be. I don't think he's still on, but he and I will look into this further.
Yeah, I think so. I was getting a bit uncomfortable, if I may say, and I don't want to continue this. I felt there was, and I don't know if you meant this, Michelle, but I heard an accusation.
Wait, hold on. Do you want me to stop the recording? Because
yes, please do. Yes, please do. Okay. Thank you. And I'm going on the street, street fair, so we don't have that much, street life committee.
Yeah, there was no accusation, Barbara. Todd and I have worked together on this issue for years and years.
I became uncomfortable with it, and that's why.
No, he was well aware because he's well aware. He and I have talked over many, many, many years about this.